Okay, so the next segment we have is top 10 games, and this is, something I like to do every week now. And it's top 10 whatever of all time until next week.
Until next week.
Until next week. So this week is the top 10 all-time solo games until next week. So at number 10 is a game I really like, but it fell really far down the list because I have a lot of other games that do essentially the same thing. It's called Dungeon Roll. And I love dice games, even though pretty much everyone else I know doesn't.
Because I have bad luck with dice.
Terrible luck with dice. Everyone else has the same exact response when I bring any kind of dice game up. Nobody likes the luck. I
caress orcs on the back all the time.
Nice. So Dungeon Roll is, in my opinion, a fantastic little push your luck game. It comes in the box is a chest, a treasure chest. It has some character cards in it, some other stuff. It's easily portable. It's always an attention getter, no matter where I'm sitting. And it's playable solo, of course. So I'm sitting playing it. Someone's always wandering up, going, "Hey, what's this?" It can get a bit samey, which is why I slotted it in at number 10. But it never, for me, has gotten old. I can pull that game out and play it anytime, anywhere. That's what I really, really like about it. At number 9, I have the Lord of the Rings LCG. And this is a game that I really love. I went out of my way to try to track it down. And it's been expanded to the point where it's pretty unlikely that I could ever make it all the way through all of the scenarios. And for folks unfamiliar with this game, you have your character decks. Your characters are moving through scenarios and battling with monsters, and all of this is based around the Middle-earth stories. It's this far down my list because another game I'll get to here in a minute, but it's tense, it's difficult, but not too difficult, and really evokes the feel of the Lord of the Rings books perfectly.
I might have to check that out then.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I thought we had played it before, but now I'm thinking we haven't. It's the other game I'm going to talk about here a little bit. For number 8, I have the game Friday. And this game is ridiculously tough. The first time I played it incorrectly. I won easily and wondered what I'd done wrong. This is a game designed by this fella, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right. If I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, email or tweet, then let me know. But Friedman Fries, and this guy has designed a lot of games. He's named all of them with a word that begins with the letter F.
Oh, cool. Okay.
One of his newest ones is called Flee.
Flee?
Flee is in runaway.
Runaway.
Flee.
Run away!
Yeah. So, all of his games are words that begin with the letter F. But you're stranded on an island with a helpless boob who you must help protect and train to fight pirates.
Okay.
It's Robinson Crusoe.
Right.
You are Friday, helping this dope try to live through his adventure on the island.
That makes sense.
And it is ridiculously difficult. This game it goes in stages, green, yellow, and then red. And I think once I learned to play the game correctly, I've won one game. And I've played this game tons of times.
Great.
It's a rough one. Let's see. Number 7, I have the game Ghost Stories. And all I can say is, yeah! This is also a really tough game. But it's probably one of the best times I've ever had losing a game.
Okay, good.
The short of it is that you defend a village from ghosts before their big bad boss shows up. And the ghosts come in waves. But they don't just come in waves. They can arrive from different sides of the board at the same time. Until eventually you and your friends are overwhelmed. And I've never won a game.
Okay.
When I first got it, I haven't played it in a long time, but when I first got it, I played it a bunch. Never won a game. It's a tough one. It's a really tough game. But ridiculously fun.
Called Ghost Stories.
It's a great game. I'll bring it over one of these nights. We'll have a go.
All right.
Okay, for number 6, I have Time Stories. And Chaz, you know that I love time travel. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So do I.
Okay. See, this game sees you time traveling via taking over someone's body, much like Quantum Leap.
Okay.
And if you recall, Shut Up and Sit Down did that fantastic episode spoofing that show about this game. Right? So this one lands just shy of dead center for me because ultimately, while I really like the game, doing the same thing over and over loses its appeal really quickly. The game is built to fail. We've talked about this outside of the show. It's built to fail, so you're essentially forced by the rule set to go back and redo these things in the game over and over again. It's really kind of difficult to talk about without spoiling.
Right.
But and they have multiple scenarios out for it. I have Prophecy of Dragons, I think it's called. And everyone I've talked to have been split down the middle on this one. It's either my group loved it, or the big one for me was someone in the community I respect really well told me it took his group 7 hours and they just drove straight through it. They didn't have to repeat any of it.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So
they're a seasoned group.
I reckon. That's probably what it was. So I'm looking forward to getting back into it. I've played it 3 times now and still haven't. This is the base scenario out of the base box, and I haven't beat it yet. So probably I'm told it's better with more people, even though none of the information is hidden. It's all shared, and it's a co-op game. But I find it's a unique experience playing it solo, because that way it removes kind of the role-playing aspect the game suggests, but I don't care about that. So, I find it's kind of a unique experience to play it solo. Okay, let's see. Anyway, number 5, right up the middle here.
Golden tooth.
This is too hard for us. Number 5, I have Mice and Mystics. Now this, as you mentioned earlier, we just watched the Shut Up and Sit Down episode 4.
Still didn't help.
You still don't care.
I still have no interest whatsoever.
I love the game. It's well, I can't even get my thoughts in order. Ostensibly, it's a pseudo role-playing game for children, but it's also really just it's a dungeon crawler that I think is satisfying enough for seasoned gamers, but it's also a very light game.
Right.
So, and that's kind of what I enjoy about it. That if I want to have a quick-ish miniatures game with a fairly unique theme, I'll just smack this up on the table and run through the first story and then put it away. It's really just loads of fun, and that's simply why I like it so much. Admittedly, the theme is what really got me wanting to play it. Really what hooked my attention, but other than that...
It's the theme that's got me out of it. I mean, Magic users going, how do we escape? Oh yeah, let's turn ourselves into mice.
Yeah.
Really?
It's a little more...
Get out there with a few magic missiles and attack the darkness.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Where are the Cheetos?
Fireball. Number 4, I have Fortune and Glory. And holy cow, do I love this game. It's got a huge board, loads of cards and minis, and an Indiana Jones theme in all but name. Not higher on the list by sheer dint of the next 3 being just that smidge better as solo experiences, and mainly because Fortune and Glory just takes a stupid amount of time to set up.
It's the only reason I haven't got to teaching myself how to play it yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in that box. Number 3, I have Warhammer Quest, the card game. This is the one I want to talk about that very nearly fired Lord of the Rings LCG for me. It's a tightened version of the Lord of the Rings rules, and it plays fast and sleek and works out to a very satisfying experience every time. It's simply too bad it'll never have any new content since FFG and GW have parted ways. And
they said good days.
Yep. And speaking of FFG and GW having parted ways, my number 2 pick is Space Hulk Death Angel. Such a brutal game. All of my solo games are ridiculously hard. Let's see. This one I lose just as often as I win, but I enjoy it just the same, and I actually usually end up just chuckling to myself after I've just been beaten to mush by the Tyranids in that
You're
game.
masochistic.
Yeah, I reckon maybe up to a point. But even after a bajillion plays, it's still loads of fun. And there was a few expansions played for it, so I tend to rotate these in and out, but most times I end up just playing the base set because it's just... The rule book was a little hard to get through at first. It's not a well-written rule book by any means. But once I had my head around the whole game, it's super... you can just get it out. It's a few cards. You lay the few cards out and you just go. The little hateful die that comes in that game. They have baked it full of pure evil.
But
I'm
every
convinced.
single die that I've ever bought has always been baked in pure evil.
Yes, but I've played this one loads solo, and I'm to the point now where I'm not even sure I want to play it in a group anymore. It's just so good by itself. My number one pick for solo games
Dun, 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 dun.
of all time this week until next week is Elder Sign. And holy cats, it's because this game is fun.
Okay, wait. 10 games, playing solo, and not a single Arkham Horror? What the heck?
No. I thought about it, and I thought if I've got Elder Sign on here, Arkham Horror, having the other two LCGs on here, Elder Sign does the same thing Arkham Horror does. And Arkham Horror does it in LCG form. I wanted to put it on the list, but I had the other two already.
Well, then just make it a tie between Elder Sign and Arkham Horror LCG.
If I have a choice, if I'm standing in front of my game shelf and I know I'm going to play one of those two games, Elder Sign's coming to the table every time.
Alright.
Yep, I know. I've got loads of
I just got to play some more Elder
Arkham
Sign,
Horror.
then maybe I'll catch up to you.
Yeah. But I've got tons of the Arkham Horror LCG stuff to play yet that I haven't got to. But Elder Sign, I don't know what there is about it, but I just find it incredibly exciting to play. The expansions can alter the game to very nearly a different game each time. Same basic rules mechanics, of course, but so the replayability for this thing is just off the charts. And I love dice placement games, I love Cthulhu themed games, and I love adventure games. And this one just hits all of those buttons like somebody just smashing their hand onto the keyboard of a piano and just running it down to the keys. It's slotting it in at number one was the easiest choice I've ever had to make on a top 10
All right.
list. Yeah.